Hey guys, it's Kat. Welcome back to this week's episode of Future Obsession. This week we are in Hawaii. Can it get much better than that? I don't think so. I'm actually sitting here with Don McGuire, the Senior Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer of Qualcomm. We're here for Snapdragon Summit 2025. Thank you so much for joining me here.
Hey, thanks for having me. This is amazing.
I know you just came hot off the stage. We are talking about all things new coming to Snapdragon, everything that's powering the devices you know and love. First, I want to chat a little bit about the brand evolution of Snapdragon. So Snapdragon used to be the secret sauce behind the scenes, and now people recognize the brand. What was sort of the aha moment when you realized consumers saw a difference between Qualcomm and Snapdragon?
Well, it's interesting because we knew that people, some people understood our technology, and but when we started scrubbing social media and reading sort of Reddits and things like that, we found out there was a lot of conversation going on about Snapdragon. And so we decided to kind of take the brand from a behind the scenes ingredient to kind of move it more into mainstream culture and conversation, because people like to talk about technology and they like to talk about tech. So, and we wanted them to understand, and we wanted them to feel affinity for this amazing technology that, you know, like you said, powers so many of their devices that are really personal to them that they use throughout their life.
Now, as a huge soccer fan and F1 fan, I feel like so many more people around the world know what Snapdragon is because of your partnerships. Can you talk a little bit about
Sure.
the importance of that and how that kind of catapulted you guys?
Yeah. So when we decided to build more brand affinity and get more eyeballs on the brand and tell the story, we looked for things to help us scale. And we also align with things that people are passionate about. And people are really passionate about sports and fashion and photography and art and music. So we've engaged and we've aligned ourselves with those passion points, and sport being a huge one. And so you mentioned two of our big partnerships are Manchester United, because global football is the biggest sport in the world. And as we call America, soccer, and F1 is a rabid and growing fan base outside of the U.S. until recently, with Drive to Survive, and now growing in the U.S. as well. So those are two great kind of intersections of sport that are really helping us scale the brand.
Are you a Man U fan?
I am a Man United fan. I have to say, I was not a huge global football fan. I played soccer when I was little,
Uh-huh.
like pretty much every American kid. But I tended to kind of lean more towards more of American sports, and so I kind of swung back. But I am a huge Man United fan. I hope they do better. They had a great win against Chelsea last weekend, but a huge fan of the brand, the franchise, and the values of the club.
And the fans, the community. I mean,
Over 1 billion,
oh yeah,
like
crazy.
amazing. Yeah,
And we saw the kit being announced today on stage. I need to get my hands on that. That looks
that's
awesome.
sick,
It
right?
is absolutely sick.
That is a throwback Eric Cantona for you, like Man United or EPL fans. That is a throwback Eric Cantona jersey. It's black with yellow and blue. It's super sick.
Why didn't you bring it? We could have been both wearing them right now.
I'll just get you one. How about that?
Okay, maybe our next episode.
Okay, perfect.
So, how do you balance telling both brand stories of Qualcomm and Snapdragon without confusing people?
Well, it's all about audience,
Right.
right? So Snapdragon is our consumer-facing brand. It's all in this area of personalization, things that are important to you, devices that you use in your daily life, whether it's your phone or your PC or your watch or your glasses or your earbuds or whatever's next, right? Your car. That's where kind of Snapdragon lives. That's the ecosystem of Snapdragon and the ecosystem of you. But we have a lot of products that sit outside the Snapdragon brand. We have a more business decision maker brand called Dragon Wing, and that's really about industrial and enterprise products and use cases. And so depending on the audience and the products at how they're being sold in from a go-to-market perspective, that's how we address where we place the brand.
What would you say your top favorite Snapdragon device is? I know what mine is.
So top favorite Snapdragon device. I would have to say the Meta Ray-Ban slash Oakleys.
Oh yeah,
I've been wearing them around today.
I just got mine.
Yeah, the Oakleys are sick. I have the Ray-Bans as well.
That 3K video footage is looking sharp.
It's looking sharp. And now the Oakleys have like all-day battery life,
Okay.
which is really cool because the Metas tended to like If you used them a lot, you had to like pop them in the case to charge them midday. But now the Oakleys last all day, which is amazing. And then they just announced at Connect a full color heads-up display, which when those are available, I am going to grab me.
I was there and I tested them out. It's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
So it's really awesome to see all of the devices from wearable technology to the phones to computers that Snapdragon is powering. Really awesome. So I kind of want to talk about the storytelling of the brand. So people don't think what's powering their phone, their laptop. They just kind of expect it to work. Like they don't know what's going on in the back end. How do you make Snapdragon something people actually feel connected to and realize like, hey, this is a Snapdragon device. I'm going to get it because of that.
It's a great question. So depending on where you are in the world, people's knowledge and their affinity for technology is different. For example, in the East, and a lot of Asian countries, they actually care about what's powering their devices. So they kind of look beyond the facade or beyond the skin to what's actually making this thing work, and they like unpacking that. So we started building affinity there because there was more of a kin to, hey, I like technology. I really want to know what's powering this. I want to know what's on the inside.
Right.
And then we started taking that outside of Asia into other countries. And then I spent 5.5 years at Intel. Back in the day, building the Intel Inside story. And they did a masterful job for a really long time, making something matter, right? That you can't go into a store and buy, but it was making your PC what it is. And so building that understanding that without Snapdragon, your device would not be able to do what you need it and want it to do every day, and driving that connection. And again, surrounding it around people's passions. So if you are an artist and you want to take great pictures or if you're a photographer, it's Snapdragon that's allowing you to capture that amazing shot, or to manipulate that photography, or to add more color or more distinction. It's really what we do that makes that happen. And building that connection is how we drive understanding.
Yeah, in real world cases, so people really understand, right?
Yeah.
I know we were at the demos yesterday. We got to see a lot of real world cases of. We'll talk about that later when we talk about the new announcements. However, really awesome and exciting stuff. And I'm even thinking of different ways I can explain to my audience of like, hey, this is how you can use your device real world. And this is how it's being powered by Snapdragon.
Cool.
So creators, gamers, and TikTokers shape how people think of brands. How do you see that community pulling Snapdragon into culture?
So we have our amazing Snapdragon Insider community.
They're so hyped up.
They're so hyped up today. 20 million strong now globally.
Wow.
And we are where they live. So we didn't try to pull them into our world. We kind of went into their world. And so we have a strong following on TikTok. TikTok's probably one of our highest performing social media outlets. We have a huge community on X. We have a huge community on Instagram, in China on WeChat and Weibo and Bilibili.
So
everywhere really. And this 20 million strong community are advocates. They will go to battle for us. They love talking about the technology and about Snapdragon, and they've helped sort of build this groundswell of conversation. And so it's made it easy for us to engage, and we sort of look at this in layers. We've got our sort of always on storytelling and content. We have these drops that we do like quarterly. We gamify stuff, we run contests, and we really want to drive involvement and engagement, so that the community itself feels a sense of belonging, of excitement, and that they always kind of know what's coming and what's on the cutting edge. And that drives, I think, the stickiness.
I love that. I feel like you guys are really always trying to think of what's like new and hot and trending and getting us as creators involved, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Even today, so many of my comments, people are DMing me on Instagram and TikTok, being like, oh my gosh, Snapdragon Summit again. We can't wait. Like the coverage last year was so awesome. So it's cool that you guys do it in such a iconic location too, because people are like, this content is awesome, memorable, and we want to know what's powering our devices.
Yeah, I heard like Spotify's tracking our event, like, which is amazing to me, right? Like it's cool. Like
I love that.
we've created something pretty special here.
I think so too, and I feel like the vibes here are just really great. Everyone's
Island,
great.
man.
It's the island vibes. I woke up this morning early.
It's Shaka Bra environment.
I love it. Now let's talk about the new launches. So we have Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 and Snapdragon X2 Elite. So I got to see some really awesome demos, which I just mentioned, but the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 has some wild numbers attached to it. What would the headline be for consumers so people can understand this simply and clearly?
I would just say it's like taking your mobile experiences to the next level.
Yeah.
Whether it's photography, whether it's music, whether it's gaming, or AI, and especially personal AI. it's really going to be this powerhouse of enabling you to, through this device that is the most personal device to you, your smartphone, to be able to take you to your next level, right?
Oh.
And be able to engage in the things that you love to do with that device, and to know, have that sense of security that you have the best, is an amazing, brand association to the brand.
That's a good point. Now, for you personally, as a CMO, you've probably got a lot of things going on all the time.
Sure.
What is something that this new 8 Elite Gen 5 is going to help you accomplish on your day-to-day workflow, or something that's really taking your personal workday to the next level?
Well, I mean, I really like the some of the AI features in the ISP for camera functionality. I think it's going to be really, really cool from a gaming perspective. And this is more for developers and for publishing houses. But Dragon Fusion and some of the technology that we built in to create richer colors, more detail for game studios, I think is going to make the gaming experience that much better. And it's going to make the studios deliver a better product to their audiences. So that's pretty cool. And then I switch out my phone all the time. Right now I'm using the Z Fold 7, the Samsung Z Fold 7.
Oh,
It's just
are you
amazing.
flip or a fold guy?
I'm a fold guy.
Yeah,
I was a flip person.
Yeah.
Now I'm a fold
Yeah, now you're
person.
a fold guy.
But I had it open on the flight here and on the little tray table standy thing. And I was watching some comedy and I was laughing my what off, and with my earbuds in, and the person next to me was just so enamored with why I was, and then leaned over and then saw my big screen, and then obviously knew the comedian that I was watching, and just said, "Oh, they're so funny," to me. But it was kind of a cool experience. But just being able to open it up and watch YouTube videos or whatever, and it's so thin, closed. It's thinner than a regular smartphone.
That's true. I feel like anytime I'm using it, like you said, it just evokes conversation with everyone. And then sometimes I'm like, do I want people to talk to me right now? Like, should I open up my phone? Because then the floodgates are open. Everyone's so interested in it. I feel like with that device, you don't realize how thin and powerful it is until it's in your hands.
Yeah.
And then using it to multitask mode, that is incredible.
Well, I always open it up when I want to use multiple screens and see multiple things, or look at something a little bit larger. I live on my phone. I do a lot of work on my phone. I look at, people send me PowerPoints or they send me creative, I had to look at a new icon that you'll see in Cristiano's presentation later. And to be able to open up my phone and look at it bigger, instead of having to go to my PC to do it, because I'm always on the go, it's a great experience.
Now, talking about starting on one device, ending up on another, now we have AI. I saw in the demos that I can start it on my phone, pick it up on my PC. Can you talk a bit about that? That was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, because it's really going to be this ecosystem of you, right? And it's going to be this fluid, sort of personal AI where it's almost like you have your buddy or your companion, and instead of use case for use case, it's really about moments. And you're moving through your day, and you may go from your glasses to your ring to your watch to your phone to your PC and everywhere in between, and you need that conversation or that activity to follow you. And so we've created that ability, right? Because if all of your devices are powered by our tech, right, then there's seamless integration. And so your AI kind of moves with you as you move and change your environment and as you move from device to device.
So you mentioned Dragon Fusion. So for creators and gamers, Dragon Fusion and ADV video recording is a game changer. In everyday terms, what new possibilities do these unlock?
So I would think in the case of Dragon Fusion, it's really about rich color and more detail. And for APV, it's really about this advanced production for video, where not only can you record as if you were in a studio, but from your device, but on the editing side and the post-production side, it's going to give you so many more capabilities. So you are your own little production house now, and just from your device, which is kind of cool.
Right. So now let's talk a little bit about AI and the future. So everyone's talking about AI, but Snapdragon is bringing up Agentic AI. What excites you about this?
Well, what excites us about this is we're going to find, as we continue to evolve, that agents are going to be the interaction point between people and their technology. We like to say AI is the new UI. This is the phrase that Cristiano had coined about a year ago. It's no longer going to be tapping into an app. right? Or an OS. It's going to be about having a conversation, using your voice. Voice is cool again, right? You're going to use your voice or your senses or your gestures, and you're going to be able to interact with technology versus going into an app and out of an app and into an app and out of an app. So there's going to be this layer of AI consciousness that you're going to be able to interact with. And then it's going to go in and tap into the things that it needs to get you the answer that you want or to perform the task that you want it to perform. You're no longer going to have to think about it or jump between apps. It's just going to happen naturally. And that's really exciting.
It's like having a personalized assistant.
Yeah, exactly.
For me, I'm always posting on social media multiple times a day, different platforms. And the demo I thought was so sick that I was so stoked about was when I got to ask AI, I'm like, hey, pull up the pictures of the beach I took today. Bunch of pictures came up.
Yep.
Then I said, can you post this on Instagram with the hashtag Snapdragon Summit 2025? And it did it just there for me.
Amazing.
Like, not only is it saving time, it's making my life easier, and I just love having that assistant. I can't wait to see where that's going to go next.
Yeah, it's like your ultimate taskmaster. Right?
Absolutely.
It's pretty amazing.
Now, another standout is across device AI. Starting on your phone, picking up on your PC, like we said. How is this going to change daily life for people?
It's interesting. So we've created some vignettes and it'll be in Cristiano's live stream, but it's really about moments. People have talked about AI in the context of the use cases, and they've gone either deep into a use case, but it's really about moments. And if we think about taskmasters or personal assistant or kind of your companion, AI is really going to become a companion. So as you're moving through your day, you can ask it things that you see, but it's going to see what you see. It's going to hear what you hear. And so it's going to now become anticipatory. So as you're walking through, it might notice there's a person coming at you who you know, and might say, hey, there's Bob. And didn't you say you wanted to like have lunch with Bob next week? Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to go send an email invite to Bob for lunch. Or so it's going to be this interaction, this two-way interaction that is going to kind of help you move through your moments of your day. It's no longer use case over here, then use case over there. It's not linear anymore. It's sort of circular, and it's going to be sort of fluid, and we love that because it's going to be like having like your buddy next to you. If you're walking through the park with your best friend and you're having a conversation about things, and they say, "Oh, I like that tree. Oh yeah, I have that tree in my yard." Things like that. This is what AI is going to be able to do with you.
So I no longer have to have an endless notes of me writing things down. It's going to remember it all for me.
Exactly.
It's like having a little second brain personal assistant.
That's right.
Oh, I'm very excited. So to wrap up this episode, I want to ask a few last questions.
Sure.
So when we think about storytelling, whether it's for a huge global brand or just a personal project, what is one simple principle that works no matter the scale?
Know your audience.
Okay. You're quick with that.
Yeah. Well, I've been at this a little while, but know your audience, provide context, and make it relevant.
Okay. I'm writing that down in the description so everyone remembers that.
You got it. Well, I mean, I think there's a lot of examples of where you don't understand your audience, things go sideways.
Okay.
When you cannot provide context, then you cannot connect. And if you can't make it relevant, no one's going to take action. And if your job is to storytell towards an action, a purchase, or an engagement, you have to have those three things in combination with each other. Right audience, context, and relevance.
I love that. Now, if you could sum up Snapdragon in one word, what would it be?
Superpower.
Superpower. Love that.
Superpower.
Love that. Might add that in the title of this.
There you go.
Of this podcast. And now, what is your current future obsession or something you are currently obsessed with? Doesn't have to be tech. Just want to get to know you more.
Shoes.
Shoes? All right. What are we rocking
I'm
today?
a huge sneaker guy. These are Hogan's.
Nice.
They're brand new. They popped up in my feed. So of course, bye. I'm like, these would be cool on stage. Yeah, I'm a big sneakerhead. I just got some Travis Scott, some Nikes. I like Hogan's. Some of the off brands too. Like I was a big Bape fan.
Nice.
Before they became sort of super popular as sort of the brand that got themselves in trouble a little bit, but they're sort of like, so I'm a big sneaker fan.
Now, what's an up and coming sneaker brand that you're into?
Oh, that's interesting. So let's see. I'm trying to think of some I just got. Well, I mean, they're not an up and coming brand, but I think they've done a really, really good job with collabs. Is Adidas.
Oh,
I think Adidas has done a phenomenal job with collabs. I just got some new collab Stan Smiths that are pretty cool.
I got the Miami Messies. Those are my favorite shoe of the summer.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. I got the Mercedes Adidas team shoes. They're like the aqua blue and white, and they've got like the Mercedes uh, star on the back of them.
So
Pretty
cool.
cool. Yeah.
Would love to see a Snapdragon branded shoe.
Well, you may I don't know. Cristiano may have it. Maybe rocking his Snapdragon branded Stan Smith today. Who knows?
Oh my gosh, okay. I love it. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me.
Absolutely.
I'm so excited to showcase some more of what Snapdragon is pumping out in the next few months, years, and everything for my audience. I appreciate it. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on next week's episode of Future Obsession. Bye.
Bye.